Welcome, everyone. Is this on here? We are working. My name is Andrew Crislip, and welcome to the Blake Lecture. This is the William E. and Miriam S. Blake Lecture in the History of Christianity. And as I already mentioned, I'm Andrew Crislip, and I'm a professor here in the Department of History at VCU, and I hold the Blake Chair in the History of Christianity. This is the 27th installment of the series, and it's the first time that we've live streamed the lecture and the first time that I've done this as well. So I thank you for joining us for this evening and for your participations and patience in tonight's proceedings. So this year is another first, and in addition to the first Blake Lecture live streamed, the History Department is inaugurating its first Graduate Alumni Award as part of the Blake Lecture. Here, I hand over the proceedings to Professor Emily Raymond, Director of Graduate Studies for the History Department, who will present the award to this year's distinguished alumna. So, Professor Raymond.
Thank you so much, Andrew, and also to Bill Blake for including the presentation of this award in what has been such a wonderful lecture series for our department. The VCU History Graduate Alumni Achievement Award recognizes an alumnus of the MA program who has made distinguished contributions to their profession or chosen field of endeavor and represents the department's highest form of recognition bestowed exclusively on graduate alumni. This is a brand new award given for the first time this year. We have almost 250 alumni of the graduate program, and they are doing amazing things. So we thought it was high time to start celebrating them. The department is delighted to honor Anna F. Edwards as the inaugural recipient of the Graduate Alumni Achievement Award. Anna has quite literally changed the historical landscape here in Richmond in ways that have also had national and international implications. There's a lot to go over, I can't do them all, but a few of these highlights include serving as chair of the Sacred Ground Historical Reclamation Project, which has worked to promote the reclamation and proper memorialization of Richmond's Shockoe Bottom, the story of Gabriel's Rebellion, the movements of Black people in Richmond's 18th century urban landscape, and the neighborhood's place as the epicenter of the US domestic slave trade from the 1830s through 1865. Serving as president of the Virginia Friends of Mali, an organization that founded and facilitates Richmond's ongoing Sister Cities project with Segu in West Africa. Anna has been featured in the New Yorker magazine and on the Smithsonian Channel, and has authored both popular and scholarly articles and books about her work and research. With her public history work and social activism, Anna has gifted Richmond with more complex, rich history, and has done so with a remarkable generosity of spirit that is both constructive and inspiring. So congratulations, Anna. And we have for you this certificate, as well as a gift, which I will not open, but ta-da, I will be bringing it to you, contactless, of course. And we look forward to celebrating with you in person very soon.
Thank you, Emily. So do I. If there's one thing I miss, it's getting together with people over whatever rabbit hole we decide to travel down with a good glass of red wine. So I do look forward to that sometime soon. I have to tell you that when I got the email, I was really surprised. One, because this thing doesn't exist before this year, and because it was really pleased. It was a really wonderful recognition, not only of the journey that I had made through graduate school, which itself is fascinating, many years after most people tend to go to school, but it was also a real recognition of the work that had been done in Richmond, the work to elevate Richmond's history, to make it a lot more public, a lot more common knowledge, to walk the streets of Richmond and have a much stronger sense of the breadth of its history and how it involves so many more people than simply the story of revolutionary leaders and generals and military strategy, or any number of the things that, you know, we sort of tend to iconically identify as being history. And the fact is that I came to this work like any other person off the street, you know, except that we were specifically oriented towards social justice, but I didn't know the history. And I got to know it in part because I was so moved by how moved people around us were to find out this history, right? To learn Gabriel's Rebellion, to understand its impact on the founding of Richmond and the development of the country, its relationship to slavery and the struggle for freedom and for equity in society. So the decision to go to graduate school was to help serve that effort better. And so I hope that that's the next phase, is being able to do that and seeing how many people have that we picked up from. You know, one of my mentors very early on in our group's mentor for working in Shockoe Bottom was Phil Schwartz. And he, of course, was a beloved professor of history at VCU. And one of the people who helped mentor me in terms of wanting to do this program was John Kneebone, so recent chair of the department. And again, I want to emphasize how important every student that I was in a classroom with was to me, and every professor that I worked with, because learning history in that way was entirely new, and it was incredibly rigorous. And I learned that although people talk about academia as being a siloed environment, often it works much better as a collaborative environment, and that was an important thing to learn. So I'm really grateful to have been a part of it, and hope to continue to be a part of it in some way. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you both. That was really a great example of what makes VCU such, I mean, an inspiring place to work, and also a fun place to work as well.